Self-millin' for some serious killin'.
Only shooting stars break the mold.
Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian and today I'm playing with Teval, Arbiter of Virtue. Gives every single spell you cast Delve, meaning you can exile from your graveyard to help cast the spell. But whenever you cast any spell with Teval in play, you will lose life equal to its mana value. Meaning that yes, you can play an Ulamog, a Portal to Phyrexia for 0 actual mana, but you will lose a lot of life. This deck is interesting because in Brawl, unlike Commander, you only have 25 life to work with. So you're going to need to gain some life before losing some life, filling up your graveyard at the same time as doing some regular old ramp, because Teval is easily removed. But if Teval sticks, you get to cast the spells, you can start swinging in, gaining life off that lifelink, and maybe closing out the game, killing your opponents with some alternate ways to win that also make use of your mill. So let's take Teval into the queue and start putting things in the graveyard and then taking them out. Omnath, Locus of the Royal. They're going to be drawing cards, putting counters on their elementals, and playing some very good spells in the middle, usually doing a lot of land-based ramp. I guess I'll start by milling myself because that's the thing we do. Citrus Supplier, put some lands in my graveyard. And some other stuff too. They got Lumra, One Ring, and Zagath Triome. I've got this. I don't really feel I need to hold up the Baleful Mastery, but I guess I could, since they can play their commander, and if I exile it in response, well, they'd still be able to kill this. So yeah, I'll go for the Misty Rainforest and pass. Mossborn Hydro, that's actually a much scarier landfall piece. That's probably going to be what I use my Baleful Mastery on, since even if I bounce that to hand, it's so easy for them to reset it. I'll grab just a plain old island and let you draw a card. Aw, Tiny Hobbit. Hello. Titania sounds good. I'll use you as a damage absorber. No, hi, Clothis. Aw, wait, Clothis exiles from my graveyard. I need that. I need my graveyard stuff. It's like I would like to save that for Teval Big Jeep Casties. Let me just slow them down a little bit since I'm not at Teval yet. And that's indestructible. Use Binding. I actually just swapped this into the deck because I was finding, like, you know what I don't have? I don't have enough just generic removal that eventually puts itself in the graveyard and is also getting me a land. Binding Rules. I love this card. I've swapped a lot of cards out of this deck because I want to make sure I'm maintaining the creature's theme. Ooh, Forest. Yes, please. We get a Surveil Forest. Binding's great. It's just pure value. Value on all sides. I'm actually going to keep that on top, because that means I know I'm going to mill it when I go Titania into Einok Wayfarer. I want to make sure I actually hit. I whiffed on both, like, Wayfarer and Satyr Wayfinder. Nice, there are 2 different lands. And it feels so bad when you're like, all right, here we go. And I missed. They can eat up a card from my graveyard. What do you take? The One Ring, Jace. I don't have, like, Muldrotha out yet. So it's... It'll land to stop Titania, maybe? It's spicy with trample creatures. Oh, yeah, I love it in the Gitrog Ravenous Ride to get more damage through. It's not useless. The first 2 chapters are good enough. No, my Wayfarer. All right, now I hope I draw like a really big, awesome spell for Teval. I don't have the other meld piece for Titania. Okay, now I have a Dredger's Insight, so I guess I just cast that first. Chitinous Crawler's definitely the pick, though Aftermath Analyst, if I had a little more mana, I could trigger it this turn. I'm 1 mana short. But I can use this Chitinous Crawler. He's toy with the kite. I'll use up one of these lands from the graveyard. Eeny, meeny, miny. Ooh, Misty? You know what? I'm actually gonna wait. I'm gonna swing in with these 2 because they're all death touchy. I'm gonna copy Aftermath Analyst. Give myself a second one. It's fun getting to do graveyard stuff. Alright. Since I don't have a piece for that, I will use the... I'm like trying to think, do I want to get the last Surveil? Yeah, it's the most graveyard stuff. I love Titania's like, no, I don't have enough cards in graveyard. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. This will get sacrificed and then there will be enough. Hello, what would you like to exile? There's a lot of good cards here you can hit, and you better do it now, because otherwise the Chitinous Crawler is going to start recasting them. I can recast any permanent from my graveyard using this. Hey, wow, ow. Yay, I gained life back. Wait, this triggers on artifacts? Oh, I guess it's because it's from Aether Drift. I've never actually had it trigger off an artifact before. Next turn, I can Teval and use the graveyard to cast more of the graveyard, which is going to be strange because it's like I exile the permanent while this still has its ability active. Then it goes on the stack and it no longer has to have this ability be activated. Yeah, it triggers from cars. Omnath swings in. They can draw more cards because they... Do they have 8 or more lands? Wait, hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? What do you mean 7? Okay, Omnath gets in 7 damage. Speaking of which, how much life am I willing to pay and why is it all of it? Okay, extra turn. I'm just going to do this now because I'm impatient. Titania gained me some life. Nice toy. That's Surveil land. It's a land. Put it in the graveyard. Gain 2 more life. What a cool way to gain life back. Kothis is picking her way through my graveyard, trying to decide what to take out. What is the biggest threat? Binding. I can't recast Rift because it's not a permanent. Aftermath Analyst, I think, could be pretty sweet, but there are 2 of them in there. So I guess it's going to depend on if they have another extra turn spell. And I have matched against so many extra turn decks today. I would love it if there were fewer of those, especially fewer recurable ones. Oh, Cyclonic Rift. Everything's back in my hand. It's going to cut down my mana a lot. Also, my life total is now so low that I can't use Teval. Well, at least I have fun recursion. Do I feel like just binding? Yeah. 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 No more Omnath. No more problems. Now you gotta play him again. Make you wait a whole nother cycle. Already played a land this turn. I will make another copy of Aftermath Analyst. I'll use it one day. Just you wait, Clothies. I love the idea of, like, I'm putting more bodies in the graveyard. Don't question it. I'm just, like, I'm cloning the corpses and putting them into the grave. And this god who's, like, aligning the needles, the needles of fate, trying to make sure everything plays out like it's supposed to, is like, hey, didn't that guy already die, like, 3 days ago? Didn't that guy die last week? Why are there 2 of him? What's going on? Oh god, Clothius is gonna bonk me now. Clothius, I'm sorry. I think you're really cool. Yeah, better ask Erebus. At least I'm ramping. I will start by playing the Titania. Holla holla get Crawler. Ooh, Uro. I was just gonna, like, use that. I like this more. Some of the stuff I'm not gonna use. I can also clone the Uro. This is Cyclonic Rift, but I can't cast it from the graveyard because Chitinous Crawler can only cast permanents. Yeah, that one. Yeah, Uro wasn't supposed to escape either, but, like, there he is. Copy the port. Not attack. Get the chumpiest chump blocker to ever chump. Yeah, this deck is very much brewed around, like, permanents, creatures. I could do something fun with the Dredger's Insight next turn. By the way, I can actually exile cards to Chitinous Crawler and not play them. I can just exile them for number manipulation. Playing the numbers game. Escape to the Wilds. The cards that go into exile and they can play additional lands are Thing that gets land, Thing that gets land, Thing that turns things into lands, and 2 lands. Not surprising from the land deck. Uros, yeah, Uros Max. It's nice having other ways to use up the graveyard. Chitinous Crawler, Uro. If you have Teval unable to pay the life because they're either doing burn damage, they've just dealt too much damage to you. They just really like dirt. I can relate to that. I too also like dirt. Somehow Teval has not been played this game. It hasn't made sense. If I play Teval, it's a chump blocker. I would love to get to play Teval, but, like, the Clothius damage combined with, like, they took the extra turn, they got the hit in. Like, number go down. I like that they're actually playing elementals. Vertilid's also an elemental, right? Yeah. Dirt stream when? Which of us actually has more lands right now? Ignoring, like, Ashaya turning things into lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. Oh. We have the same number of lands, excluding the Ashaya lands. Okay. I will block you, and also you. We keep milling. Hi, Tassiger. Having a counterspell is kind of nice. These guys have Death Touch. I will probably be just going silly with some of this stuff. I'm going to attack in with Uro, though. I'm going to keep copying this Aftermath Analyst because I think it's funny. I assume they will chump block with the Clothes. Or not chump block because she doesn't die, but like block with the Clothes. Seiju... No. You know what a Shia is? She's basic. My life total is actually getting high enough that I feel comfortable doing more stuff here. By the way, this does open up the Endless Restoration for them without having to tap a creature. Yeah, she's not a basic land. She's a non-basic land. We're gonna have some things milling. Leaving our graveyard, re-entering the graveyard. It's gonna get weird. Enosh. That lets me, like, grab the rift and stuff. But we're doing chitinous crawler things. Hey, y'all, if you're playing a graveyards deck in black, you should consider this card. Are you doing self-mill shenanigans? Are you filling up the trash? Consider Aftermath Analyst. Yeah, now I can grab Cyclonic Rift and make an instant speed copy of it. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, wait a minute. An instant speed copy of it? We already have instant. We have instant speed copies of it. It's called It. Make them play this again. I wonder if they've been holding up Wash Away mana for Teval and they're like, why aren't you casting it? Why would I cast Teval? Teval hurts me. That guy hurts. Yo, yeah, Aftermath Analyst MVP. Okay, because I have 23 cards in my graveyard, I'm able to recast the Aetherflux Reservoir. Next turn might actually be the Teval turn. In case of Teval emergency, Bright Glass. Let's see what they hit. I can bring all those lands back next turn. Yeah, 100% worth the wild card. Okay, they're going for Mana Drain. They're like, no Nashi Mana Drain business. They could totally win from this position because they're an Omnath deck. I got Rifted, right? Yeah, Rifted and extra turn. They're thinking about things. Have I been snap rifted? Like this game? No, not this game, because it's still in their graveyard. Have I ever been snap cast or cyclonic rifted? Oh, probably at least like 40, 50 times. You play against enough like Azorius control decks, they do it. So I think they realize that next turn, there is no survival. Because I'm able to mill for less than the mana that like I would essentially get refunded by Teval. If I bring out the Aetherflux Reservoir, I can probably one-shot them by storming with all of the spells, and I can use the graveyard to help cast those spells, cloning things in the graveyard too. Sounds to me like a good turn. Very good turn. GG, Omnath. Nicol Bolas, the Ravager. I've got my good friend Oglor. We have a chitinous crawler, some removal if I can get to green, and the ability to exile things on demand. But that's going to be kind of tough because we're up against what is probably Grixis control. Very, very, very small chance, by the way, that this is actually Grixis Dragons. I've seen it like twice, but usually it's not. I still hope and believe. I'm gonna drop the Fel the Profane. I have other removal in my hand, and I want cards in the graveyard. Invisius Mortifer, they give it the sub. We hope for dragons. We all hope for dragons. I'm ramping. I got a Bloom Tender. In this deck, I find that ramp is important because in many circumstances, Teval does not go. So being able to cast the other spells is good too. Also, Teval costs 5 mana, so like, you gotta still get to 5. And cast all your self-mill. If only mill was free. Where's an orb? I could use an orb. Narset. Do I have any card draw in hand? I don't. I could play the Crawler here with nothing to copy. I think I would rather play the Restless Cottage and smack Narset for 1.
Contain your rage.
Is it time to discard? Silumgar's Command. That's a Silum card. Oh, are you not just control but super friends? Because that's 2 planeswalkers. You turn into a planeswalker. Okay. Restless Cottage. Destroy Chandra. Yes, I think I should be, honestly, just... Chat should be, like, complimenting me constantly on my restraint for not just mulliganing until orb. I love orb. I ponder them frequently, constantly. Solemn Simulacrum. It's rampin'. Titan's Nest I can use to help cast Teval, but not Ulamog. She's finally here. Is it orb? It's time. It's time, you guys. I'm milling. They're milling. Everyone's milling. And this will also give me a good idea of what's in their deck. Its removal is in their deck. Wow, yes. A lot of it. Quite a bit. Is it time for Bolas? More orb. More orb! I'm gonna be milling 6 and surveilling 1. 2 plus 6 plus 1 plus the... No. Don't exile a card from my hand. Please don't exile a card from my hand. I was gonna cast that! I was gonna cast that. If I drew a land. And surveilled the thing. And built this. I actually didn't even need a land. Hater behavior? Okay. Well, now what? Now what, Nicol Bolas? A Tail's End and no mana to cast it? This truly is morbing time. Mesmeric Orb is what the morb stands for. Glarb? You sweet, beautiful beast, get in the trash. There's no reason for you to use Teval with the cards I currently have. At least I don't feel like I need to. I'm mad. I'm sad. I'm gonna go for it anyway. I'm not gonna use the Titan's Nest. Yep. Because that's what I expected you to have. I will still move you out. You know, you have the Tail's End next turn. I'm going to be exiling a Watery Grave. And Botanical Sanctum in order to cast the Chitinous Crawler. Chitinous Crawler will be able to copy something but not cast things yet. I'm going to make Glarb 2 the sequel to Glarb. Reason behind that. I don't know. Glarb's really funny. Just say his name, Glarb. So yeah, the real commander's in play now. Chitinous Crawler. I mean, honestly, these two combined is so fun. So, Silumgar's command, -3/-3, not enough to kill the Crawler. Not enough. Aw, that gets it, though. So they know I have a Baleful Mastery in hand. If there was a card I was really afraid of them hitting in the graveyard, I guess I could have used Titan's Nest. But, like, we know that they were going for the Baleful Mastery. My commander has been removed. Not my fake commander, my real commander. They can still counter my commander. They have a Tail's End. Let's see what I hit on that Surveil. Hello. I'm going to try to cast Teval first. This is going to be bait. 1, a 2, a 3. Sorry, second Glarb. 4, Teval. Awesome. Don't actually put it in the command zone because I'm going to exile it. Now we'll put it in the command zone. For Valgavoth. How many more things do I gotta exile? Oh yeah, this always does it one at a time. The Grumble. Baleful. Bloom Tender. Platinum Angel. I'm not going to get to pull that off against a Bolas deck. Valgavoth's in play. Willionaire, thank you for the sub. Everything that gets milled is going to go into exile under Valgavoth. I can pay life to cast it, just like Teval intended. Losing life. Oh, he's eaten. And they can't even kill the Valgavoth with a targeted ability, because they would need another permanent out first. There's plenty of sacrifice things, though. They're like, there's ways to kill it. Kind of too many ways, actually. So what did I get? Let's take a look. Okay, yum, yum, yum. Yeah, I'll lose all my life. It's more removal, some card draw there. Yes, I do get the card. Anything that goes into their graveyard, I get. But I can only cast it if it's my turn. If you've ever played a game with 2 Valgavoths in play, it's horrible. You just keep trading stuff back and forth. Oh, Valgavoth is pondering that orb. Where's your Shouldered Edict now? Let me gain 9 life. Are you salt roping me? Have you seen your deck? Well, I'm really happy I got to show off Titan's Nest. It's a really cool kind of like alternate to Teval that works only for the colored spells. Sure is the shame that my opponents are just just not able to handle the power of the moth. Yeah, that's always the Teferi avatars. It's not always the Teferi avatars, but... Alright, so they rope, and I guess I'll get to get silly with it. Let me pay some life. They're just holding priority. Well, I guess this is, like, instant speed. So how about the Celtics, huh? Going great playoff season. Keep getting injured by the Magic, not into it. Kill Crab and crab them. Oh, I'd love to do that. I would love to do that. If I ever got priority again, I'm never gonna get priority. They're... Yeah. Great. Chainer Nightmare Adept. This is an unusual creature that lets you reanimate by discarding. It also gives things haste, which is based on if they were cast from outside your hand, which includes itself. I don't know why, but that does mean that if Chainer's your commander, it gives itself haste. I wonder if they're just gonna be like a discard synergy, like it's a madness going on, or if there's something else that they'll be doing with Chainer. Yeah, it's like so far this feels like it could just be hasty stuff, a little bit of crime. Chainer a girly. I think Chainer's a dude from this story. I think Chainer's a dude. A human minion. Minion of who? I don't really want to Mind Stone that. Or Mana Drain the Mind Stone. Surveil a land into the graveyard. I've got plenty of mana here. I'd love to be able to, like, Aetherflux Reservoir and Teval. It's gonna depend a lot on what they steal, what they cast. Nice wash away. Not as helpful on your own turn. They didn't play Chainer yet. There we go. So I want the 4 mana from this. That's the big thing. And then I think I'll go Aetherflux into Keru Goldkeeper. Since Teval, right now my graveyard is not that full. Do you even Keru? Aetherflux Reservoir going to let me gain some life to make up for the life loss. This is not like a full Stormy version, but I do still think Aetherflux Reservoir is a very helpful card to have. So they reanimate Chainer because it entered from, you know, the graveyard. It gives itself haste. They've exiled my cool spells. They can cast the Sheoldred's Edict if they attack in with the Robber. Yeah, it's whenever they've attacked with a rogue. Are you a rogue? No, you are a human minion. I just saw that. So Edict, killing the Goldkeeper. It's a shame. I was hoping to get some delicious treasures. We've got Glarb, Satyr Wayfinder. I will start with Glarb and realize now that I did not allow myself to have any green up. Thankfully, green on top of the deck into Satyr Wayfinder. The more spells I cast, the more life I gain. And I'll be milling the 6, and we'll see what else. Glarb is really helpful with Teval because of that milling. Being able to surveil things into the graveyard is really nice. So now I've got just lands and Sir Conrad. Sir Conrad, if I can exile a bunch of creatures from my graveyard, also mill a bunch of stuff into my graveyard, can ruin my opponent's life total. It also triggers if their stuff dies. Pretty helpful. Sometimes you just, like, win games because Conrad is sitting there being Conradical. Everybody's saying thank you, Glarb. Thank you, Glarb. Our Glarbin savior. So they've discarded Necrogoyf. Because it was discarded, they can cast it for its madness cost. Because it was cast from exile, it gets haste. Thanks, Chainer. Love the synergy. But there's no creatures in their graveyard that they can cast. Ooh, braids. Are you gonna sacrifice things? I would personally probably like sacrifice the Mind Stone or a land or something. Oh, sacrificing a creature. I too will sacrifice a creature. I'm going to sacrifice this Satyr Wayfinder. I have to discard. Oh no, my water grave. It was so wet. Teval, I cannot follow up with another spell. I see this Birds of Paradise on top. I will start by playing the land, bringing out Sir Conrad. And then on their turn, I have a feeling they're going to be using the Beseiju if they play anything that needs to be removed. And otherwise, just dropping it. I'm gonna use Glarb. Oh, they discarded Auric Loremage. That lets you tutor into the graveyard. Yeah, Glarbs can surveil this into the graveyard and trigger Sir Conrad. Conrad is very spicy in 4-player formats because it's any creature dying, any creature being put into a graveyard. And also, you mill 4 different people, so you have way more chances to hit. It's a great uncommon. Alright, they discarded Bishra's Bauble, allowing them to recast Auric Loremage. I've never given Sir Conrad lifelink. Do you put, like, reassembling skeleton in because you have the braids? I don't know how sacrificey this person is. Loremage I've seen before because sometimes it'll get used to just tutor into the graveyard. Kind of like an entomb effect. It's one of the baddies from Strixhaven. The ones that summon the Blood Avatar. Okay, they put in a Cursed Marauder in the graveyard. I will take 6, even though number go down. Because I suspect they're going to discard their last card to cast this. No? Oh, they already did it once this turn. Right. I'm surveilling. The Goyf loves this. Hello, Teval. Aetherflux? No, I really want that. I'll lose 2. Worth. Bye, Beseiju. Oh, we're still in the upkeep. Alright, Uro on top. I could escape Uro over going for the Teval Wormcoil engine line. I like that, actually. Let me do it. So I'm gonna use Glarb to put... Okay, fine. Platy, you could go in there too, because I think they will have removal. This gives me more triggers for Sarkon. Glarb, why'd you show me this? Glarb, now I have to do this. I was gonna use cool graveyard stuff. Well, let's see if Sir Conrad just kills them right here. Because, I'll be honest... It might. How about the Sheoldred and Marauder, because it will get more triggers off Sir Conrad. So creatures went in the graveyard. Creatures left the graveyard. My cat just went at me. What a good frog finding me that breach. It's a spicy meatball? Yeah, very spicy. And then I attack with Sir Conrad. They have to block or they will die. Sir Conrad doesn't care about himself dying, but he cares about anything else dying. Sheoldred's also going to make them lose life because they're drawing cards. Scraps, okay, you want to be a part of this so bad? You want to be a part of the video? You've been a part of like every Brawl Stars video in the past 2 weeks since I came back from my trip. Come on up. Yeah, come on up. Yeah. And now there's a kitty on my desk. Scrap, do you want this? You want to see Sir Conrad win? Boop. Self-mill decks. Love Sir Conrad's. And Breach is a good card. Teval against himself. We're both going to be draining our own life totals to try to cast things for cheap. Hello, fellow Teval, Arbiter of Virtue. I've got a really nice hand here. I have the turn 1 Birds of Paradise. I've got turn 2 Titania to gain some life, Malcolm to be Malcolm. I've got choices. But having this early ramp is really nice to get myself to Teval, to get myself the Aether Flux Reservoir. Oh, they have ramped as well. Colorless ramp is especially good in Teval because you have the potential to, like, cast it for free. I get it. Do I want the Titania out here? Do I want to just ramp with the Ancient Cornucopia? Or do I want to go for Malcolm, putting things in the graveyard? I'm going to bring out the Ancient Cornucopia. It's not like I'm trying to play Teval right away, but I want to just have lots of mana and start gaining some life passively as I'm casting spells. Once a turn, I get to gain life off a spell I cast. I could do that like once on my turn, casting Titania, once on my opponent's turn, casting Malcolm. Yes, this is one of the best cards with my commander, and this is actually the first time it's shown up in my games. I had this problem where it would not show up. Nice self-mill. I would like that, yes. Because they played this Slogurk, I'm just casting 2 fellas to stand out here. Titania and Oglor. Oglor is going to let me surveil, start putting things in the graveyard, just as Slogurk is going to start letting them put things in the graveyard. When Slogurk, or it's going to grow as things go in the graveyard. It lets them bring things out of the grave. I think I confused it with the frog. But I want to have a blocker, though there's a good chance Slogurk will get pretty big. Gogurt, the Overslime. They're both, you know, Simic creatures from the same pseudo block. Oh, they didn't put any lands in the graveyard. Yeah, Grolnok, Slogurk. Ooh, Sidisi. I actually didn't put Sidisi in my deck, even though I really love her. She's a really cool way to, like, mill over and over. How did you not mill a land? Yeah, Slogurk stays small Gurk. Alright, so I have a land here, so I could put that in the graveyard. I could make them sacrifice either Slogurk or Sidisi. This seems fine to me. Getting a land is also cool. But I like number go up. Number go up is good. And I'll do this now because I have the flash creature to cast otherwise. Would I like to gain a life? I sure would. Slogurk Sidisi. You Gherkin or Decent? They have no lands in their graveyard. We sit and we chill. But now I do have cards in my graveyard, which is good because it means Teval can help me cast, like, Villas soon. Yes, Teval is a much trickier commander than a lot of Sultai commanders because it's not just pure payoff. It takes a lot of setup. There's a ton of self-mill in both my deck and I assume my opponent's deck. And you have to strike a good balance of cards you're using on both sides. All right, so they're swinging in with both. They mill 3. They did mill a creature, so they'll get another zombie. It's a creature / a land. And I'm going to try to block with Titania to take out Sidisi. I'm back down to my starting life total. And they could play Teval here, but unless they have a big colorless spell, like they could cast Ulamog for 10 life. I think I'm okay. Watch it just be Ulamog. Yeah, I didn't hit a lot of my self-mill stuff early. The land that goes with Titania is very good for milling. Oh, Scavenger Regent. Yeah, okay. That's a great follow-up here. And I'll just do this. I guess I could wait until end step, but... Nah. Check it out! Malcolm! Nashu. I think I might be dropping the Villas, even though it's like a real cool thing for Teval. Okay, Damnation. If they get ahead of me, that would be really helpful to have. But anything I want to drop here, like I can bring back with Nashi. So I'm gonna drop the board wipe. And then they have these little attackers. Teval could come out. And I'm gonna pop down Aetherflux Reservoir. I don't feel like I need the Nashi this turn. I can take the hit from the zombies. You gonna surveil some more? Do it! Do it! Yeah, this is like a generic Sultai pile commander. Muldrotha, you can run much more themed around like certain permanents. Nashi, you don't even need to mill yourself because you can just cast like good control spells and then recur them again. Nice, Witherbloom command. I had that in my deck at one point and took it out. I liked that it had the you can gain life on it. You can do this, but it was like, this is competing with so many other cards. And I think I had one hand with it when I was testing the deck. It was like, okay, sweet, I'll keep it if they play a Landwar Elf or something. And then they played Delighted Halfling, and I was like, it doesn't kill Delighted Halfling. Gosh darn it, it doesn't kill it. And next turn is going to be a Teval turn. Right now, it's Nashi o'clock. Still a little worried about, like, them having a giant colorless spell to cast, but that's how it is. Have I ever had anybody cast a Bowmasters with Villas out? Oh, to infinitely mill me? / kill you, depending on if you have more cards or more life. It has not happened to me before, because I don't think I've put Villas in many decks. Ta-da! Don't mind me, just gaining life. The Rat Boy genius. I might just grab a land, because I could use land. Love Oaklord, though. It's like I could go for the Edict to try to stop Teval, but I kind of want to see them doing the thing. Yeah, they're trying to figure out, oh no, what did they get? Yeah, I want you to think I got like Damnation or Edict. I totally did that. And not my funky little homuncula guy. He makes me happy, okay? I'm so desperate to get him to work. I had him once with like self-mill, filled up my graveyard, and then I almost got to exile every card out of my graveyard, and they stopped me, and it hurt my heart. Like, can't believe they would do this. All right, say to Wayfinder. Show them the way. Ooh, that's a very nice land. Also, orb. In order to maximize life gain, I should actually have played Ogre first. I happen to not mill any creatures there. But I want to get more life gain off the Aether Flux. Actually, I guess it's 2 more instead of just 1 more if I'm casting it there. Yeah, kill the Nashi. And behold, my little guy. It's versus like gaining a little more life on Cornucopia. And I could have also like not done Wayfinder, not done Oglors. Could have Teval'd, but I'm just about ready. I'm just about ready to party. I wonder if they're ready to party. We're both in this like odd spot where like you don't want to cast Teval until you're ready to use him. You can play him and pass the turn once, but oftentimes that just results in him getting removed. Okay, Titan's Nest lets you kind of just freely remove these things from your graveyard. That's a really good way to trigger things like Oglor. Okay, so Platinum Angel would be really, really funny to cast here. So I think I'm gonna big dumb colorless spell. let's see if this gets, like, I don't know, mana drained. Yeah, Titan's Nest, you can also use to discount, like, casting the Teval. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Leaving some lands. Yeah, and then the 7th from this. Alright, and now I can pay as much life as I want because it's not actually paying life, it's losing life. If you have this and, like, Citadel out with this, the Aether Flux, you can just, like, dig. No! Aw, well, I tried. Alright. I'm taking a look at what they're running in their deck. Like, I know the Sidisi is different. Striking the right balance between life gain, self-mill, and the big castables is very tricky. But it's cool. I think that this is a much better commander for a commander versus Brawl because you have 40 life to mess with. So you can just be like, yeah, I'm going to cast a lot of 10 mana value spells. Neither of us... I wonder if they have, like, a Mesmeric Orb in hand and they're just like, I can't play this. Oh, Kyrie. Are they gonna... What can they do on that? Oh, Portal to Phyrexia. Am I 1 mana short of Teval again? I am. Listen, I will pay all of the life, and you know I will pay all of the life. Titan's Nest also lets you exile spells without, or exile cards from your graveyard without casting anything to get triggers off of. I think I saw Kishless Skimmer in their grave. Yes, things like this. It works. Ooh, they're milling. They have 16 cards in graveyard. Nice rat. Here comes Teval. Okay, fine. Glarb. And I will gain 3 because that's the most colors I have. Boop. What's on top of my deck? Ooh, Jet Collector. I'm gonna take a real beating in the air, though. I might not be able to portal them. It is Glarbin time. So they're gaining 6. I'm losing 12. I'm okay with drawing this. I don't need to surveil it away. Oh, Worm! That's a fun one. Alright, land. That's what I needed. Yeah, I've got mana. It's gonna hurt, though. It's so worth it. It's so worth it. They have lethal if I go for the portal. Because they can bounce stuff, right? Mana value 6 or less. I really wanna, but I can't. I would gain 2. But they can leave themselves a 6/6 flyer, sacrificing these 3. That gives them the 2 other attackers. Yeah, give me a turn. I'll get there. Chad, I might not get there. Well, I've been rebuked. Villas just sat in hand, uncastable, sadly. But it would have been so fun to be able to get the infinite payoff with the Platinum Angel. GG, other Teval. Ugin, Eye of the Storms. They're going to be exiling my permanents, which is really rude and really rough. I don't love this hand. It doesn't really have any ramp or self-mill. This has both ramp and self-mill and ramp self-mill. I'm into it. So Ugin is tough because they're going to be ramping, playing colorless spells, and just taking out a lot of my cool stuff. I think that it's going to be a tricky game, and I'm just going to hope that I can accelerate into some very strong cards. Especially if I don't hit, like, good card advantage early on. I think I need orbs. I'm gonna mill. I'm gonna mill and mill and mill and mill and mill. Unfortunately, I did mill one of my ways to get rid of Ugin. That's fine. A crystalline giant. Ooh, shiny. Wait, which did it get? It got vigilance. It pulls from like a random set. One of the most just designed for digital cards. There are some board wipes while they wait to get to Ugin, but it's mostly just ramp, 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 ramp. Foundry and waste. Ooh, Demolition Field and Field of Ruin. If they'd like to take out, say, my command tower, they will be filling my graveyard, but they will also be hindering my colors a little bit. Okay, you got Hexproof. Look at you, fancy man. I'm ready to get silly with this, though. Life is a resource. And I'm going to spend every last drop of it. We're going to go for Breach. And I'll go make sure I get that Valgavoth there. Exiling a bunch of the non-creatures. I only need to delve for 3 because the Bloom Tender was tapping for 3. And I leave because I was going to get a Valgavoth. Or, yeah. It's good. And then Valgavoth was going to exile all the cards milled by the orb. Rowan, Scholar of Sparks. Or Will. I don't remember what he does. He draws you cards. I have turn 3 orb. And that's all I ever needed in this world is turn 3 orb. So I'm going to keep this hand and start with Argoth because it will come in tapped. I have nothing to reanimate. There's nothing here that is reanimatable. The big thing about these two is that they discount your spells. And if your spells cost less to cast, you can cast a lot of them. Whether it's counter spells, burn spells, if you're storming off, Rowan and Will work nicely together to do exactly that. Now, it's time to ponder. Will you mill the top card of my library and put it into my graveyard? Or won't you? I don't know. I'd like you to lose 5 life. Thank you. Also, you made number go up for Teval. Very into it. Hi, Rowan. Rowan can also just plus to ping. We have been pinged. Do I feel like reanimating? Not yet. I know I do have the reanimate on Bloodthirsty Conqueror, but it's not quite what I'm looking for here. I want just a little more mana and maybe, I don't know, like a Villas in the graveyard. That'd be really cool. Okay, thank you so much. They lose another 8 life. Orb's great when you're like all about casting big spells. Okay, they take an extra turn. That lets them go up. Something that's also important because they are taking these extra turns is that Rowan is going to be able to ult. That means that they can double their instants and sorceries for just 2 mana. And of course they're going to take another extra turn because I guess I'm just an extra turn heck. I've cut most of those games from this video, but in the 13 or so games I've played with Teval today, about half have been against looping extra turn stacks, which it's not particularly enjoyable to me. I'm sure it's enjoyable to some people, but it's really not my flavor of thing to get to play against. I'm sure someone loves it. Not for me. I don't have quite enough in my graveyard to go full ham Teval style here. But next turn, maybe. that's 6. Instead, I'm going to bring out what I'm going to call a threat. And his name is Rusco. And no, nobody likes him. Do I feel like bringing out, like, Bloodthirsty Conqueror? Yeah. And try to, like, push them into clearing the board here. Rusco's in here to gain life. Like, that's his big thing. The clock is, like, both good and bad for us. There we are. Okay, Orb and Jace. I'm actually just going to put both to the bottom here because we're going to be drawing. All right, and we discard 3. I'm going to go with land that's tapped, land that hurts, and board wipe. Yeah, the Villas Reanimate is very like, yes, it fills your hand up. That's sweet. Because if you're wondering why that happened, whenever you lose life, you draw that many cards. And since the creature enters and then you lose the life, I get 8. So they have 5 mana. Yeah, hi, Temporal Manipulation. Yeah, I really wish that, like, these cards were eroded or extracted from the format, make them so they exile themselves. It is unfortunately extremely easy to loop extra turns, and I'd love it if that weren't so much of what I face in a day. Like, I'm not running the extra turn cards in this because, I don't know, it's like, if they cost 5, you technically get more just swinging in with Teval life-wise. I could have sworn I already saw you cast Temporal Trespass. Oh no, it was part of the Water Veil. Okay, I'm sorry. The Formula. They're going to double this up, which is going to give a double discount to the second pair of cards that's put into hand. Or the first pair. They get 6 more cards in hand. They cost 1 less from Rowan, and some of them cost 2 less now from Discover. But they only have 2 mana left. Can you save yourself from Villas? Yeah, more opponents playing extra turn spells. Fear, fire, foes! Dealing 3 damage. What a funny card. Hi, Brawl. Hey, buddy. Thanks for the card. And we win. You're not even gonna let me swing at you after you take all those turns? No, I didn't have fun. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars. Yes, I took the shirt off and then I put it back on again. This was recorded kind of out of order because I had to take a little break in the middle to show off the new alchemy cards. If you want to see the video with the new alchemy cards, you can find it on the Wizards of the Coast Magic Arena YouTube page. It's also on one of my playlists on my channel too. Yeah, there's some crazy new cards coming out in alchemy. And yes, I will be brewing around the legendaries. Trust me, they're great. Teval went. Teval struggled a bit, but also, you know, you have some fun games. I find that if you start doing things with Teval, you have to be very, very careful with your life total. But for the most part, you don't actually get to do things with Teval because your opponents won't let you. You try. You get priority once. You attempt to cast a single spell and it gets stopped, which is a bit of a bummer. But I do think that I did a pretty good job striking the right balance between graveyard enablers, graveyard payoffs, and alternate ways to use your graveyard because Teval oftentimes isn't available. I'm talking about things like Tassiger, Chitinous Crawler. They're all very fun. And I will say that the number 1 synergy card for Teval that I found was Villas. Villas, you lose the life, you get more cards, and it gives you the gas that you need. That's important because you really do need some card advantage because it takes so much to fill up your graveyard. There is not a lot of efficient self-mill. So by the time you get to Teval, you want to like both have spells to cast and also a nice chunky full graveyard. This final version that you see in front of you did have about a 50% win rate. The previous versions were They were rough, though. I definitely struggled, even though I was playing around like this very cool creature-based version of the deck. I swapped around a couple cards, and it's definitely doing better as it is right here. If you're looking for the deck list, it's in the description below. And if you'd like to suggest a commander, please let me know in the comments. Once again, I'm still looking to be brewing the cards from this set and the alchemy set, but I'm almost through all of the new commanders. So start looking forward to seeing some old and new refurbished decks. We're gonna have some fun with some commanders that have been out for a while. There's definitely some things that need to be revisited, especially with the new cards that have come out. And yes, I will be building dragons. Rawr. Thank you so much for watching, and have a brawlful day.